This'll take an hour. 4 hours later, it's still not done, and you're not entirely sure why. This happens so often it has a name. Let's fix that. The planning fallacy is the tendency to estimate tasks based on the best-case scenario, every single time, even when past experience clearly shows things never actually go that smoothly. Interruptions, unexpected complications, and simple underestimation of the actual steps involved are treated as exceptions rather than the normal, expected texture of getting anything done, so every estimate comes in low, and every deadline arrives feeling like a surprise. What makes this fallacy so persistent is that it survives direct contradiction by your own history. Most people have been wrong about task duration dozens of times, and yet the next estimate is built the same optimistic way regardless. As if this particular task will be the exception, the brain seems to treat each new estimate in isolation, without consulting the pattern of every previous estimate that also turned out to be wrong in the same direction, which is exactly the data that should be informing the next guess. The fix is planning for the realistic case instead of the best case, using your own past experience as the guide rather than optimism. If similar tasks have consistently taken twice as long as expected, that's not bad luck repeating itself. That's the actual data, and the next estimate should be built from it. Add explicit buffer for the interruptions and complications that, historically, always show up. This means deliberately overriding the instinctive estimate with a corrected one, using a simple, repeatable method. Take the first number that comes to mind, then multiply it by a fixed factor based on how wrong your estimates have run in the past. If tasks routinely take 1.5 times longer than expected, build that multiplier in every time, rather than hoping this particular task will be the one that goes according to the original plan. Someone who plans for the best case is chronically behind, not because they're worse at the actual work, but because every estimate was wrong in the same direction from the start. And being wrong the same way every time compounds into permanent lateness. Someone who plans using realistic, buffered estimates hits their deadlines far more often, not because they work faster, but because their expectations were accurate to begin with. Over the course of a busy month, the difference compounds visibly. The person planning for the ideal case is perpetually apologizing for running late, rescheduling commitments, and working under last-minute pressure that could have been avoided. The person planning for the real case, using the same actual working speed, simply built their calendar around numbers that were true, and as a result spends the month meeting deadlines calmly instead of scrambling against them. First, look at how long the last 3 similar tasks actually took, not how long you assumed they'd take beforehand. Second, add a fixed percentage of buffer. Many people find 50% works well to any estimate before committing to it. Third, treat interruptions as an expected part of the estimate, not an excuse for missing it afterward. To make the first tip concrete, keep a simple running log of estimated versus actual time for recurring types of tasks. It takes almost no effort to maintain and quickly becomes the single most useful planning tool available, because it replaces guesswork with your own track record. For the third tip, build a specific interruption buffer into the schedule itself, rather than treating every interruption as an unplanned deviation that then needs to be explained or apologized for after the fact. You think it'll take an hour? It almost never does. Plan for the real case, not the best case. Next episode, Public Commitment, Why Accountability Actually Works. Follow along so you don't miss it.